Today I'm going to show you 10 pocket knives that my wife does not know about. Now hold on though, because there's a really good reason for that. They're my most expensive knives and I keep them in this case. So I was thinking, let's crack this baby open, take a look. These are knives that I normally don't show on my channel because, well, you know, I like to stick with the stuff that everybody can afford. Any links to buy and then the coupon codes will all be listed down in the description for you. Starting us off at number 10, it's going to be a zero tolerance. This is the ZT-0456. You know what? At the time when I bought this, I only owned one other ZT knife, and that was the 0350. But I am such a big fan of these like mid-sized knives with the sheepsfoot blade. So, you know, this was kind of an easy choice. But one thing I didn't realize was the weight. Yeah, this little sucker is it's kind of heavy. You know, for a knife with only a 3 1/4 inch blade. Get this, 6.3 ounces. Hey, if this is your first time here, thanks for stopping by. My name is Jay. Go ahead and click on that subscribe if you're looking for knife reviews that get right to the point. Number 9 from Drop and Ferrum Forge, it's the Mordex. Man, was I excited when this thing was first announced because, you know, I always wanted to get this design, but, you know, I knew I'd never be able to afford like an actual mid-tech Mordex. So this one by Protech is going to be the next best thing. You know, if I could do it all over again, I think I would have got the version with the plain handle and not this one that is milled. And well, here's why. Well, it's the pocket clip because it's just one position. So as a lefty, you know, obviously I'm going to put it in my left pocket. But so do you see that stuff though, that's all going on the handle? Well, they did that so it kind of helps out with the traction, so you get a better grip. But all that does for me is it just kind of gets caught up on my pants pocket every time I'm putting it in and taking it out. Number 8, it's going to be a ballast song. This one's from Benchmade. It's the 51 Morpho. You know, there's actually a couple of reasons why I bought this because, well, ballast songs are also known as, well, you know, butterfly knives. And, you know, Benchmade through the years has made some of the absolute best ones out there. And I just wanted to have like one really good ballast song. And the other reason is because it has a pocket clip. You know, not that I really carry this anywhere, but if I wanted to, you know, I could. Number 7 is going to be another zero tolerance. This is the ZT-0562. I bought it because, well, I never thought that I'd actually be able to own a Hinderer XM18, which now after, you know, having one of these, I kind of understand why some people are saying that this might have been made too good. I know that sounds kind of weird to say, but so if I was blindfolded and I had to try and pick out which one was the XM18 and which one was the ZT, I don't think I wouldn't be able to do it because I can't tell the difference just by feeling them between the two. And, you know, unless I forget the ZT, this thing cost $150 less than an XM18. Number 6 is going to be a Chavez. This is the Ultramar Scapegoat Street. This is the newest knife on the list, and I think it's actually quickly becoming one of my favorites. Now, the deal with these is that they're actually made by Riot, and I really like that this knife, this specific model, that it looks a little bit different than all the other Chavez designs, and that's because of the, well, this blade shape and that giant, look at that, that is just a giant forward finger choil. But what also sets this knife apart from the other Chavez designs is that it comes with an extra pocket clip. So if you're not, you know, maybe you're not feeling the whole skull thing, then hey, that's okay. Go ahead and you can swap it out for that. Number 5 is going to be a Riot. This is the iron. Now, even though Riot, they clearly like giving their knives a thicker blade stock, but you know what? They still are excellent slicers. But one thing I found really weird about this knife is that if you take a look at, so on the lock side or the clip side, you can see it's got some like texturing going on, which does actually, it actually provides a good bit of traction. I would say even more so than on the show side. So I say that that's weird because normally isn't it the other way around? So you want it smooth on the clip side because then it's easier to go in and out of the pocket. And then you want the traction on the show side. Number 4, it's going to be a slip joint from Hinderer. This is the 3-inch XM18 vintage. You know, I really wanted to get the flipper frame lock version of this, you know, in either the 3-inch or the 3.5-inch, but those were extremely limited. So I had to go ahead and settle for this slip joint. You know, it's a nice little knife that I can get, you know, I can get a full 4-finger grip. You can even choke up, and I got a medium-sized hand. But check out those wood scales. Those are actually made out of walnut, and the blade is 01 tool steel, which you don't see that too often in these type of knives. I mean, usually that's on like a fixed blade. The walk and talk here, though, is really, it is strong, but it's not too much. So if that, I don't know if that makes any sense, because I can completely operate this knife, you know, just one-handed. Number 3, another Benchmade. This is the Anthem. I was really sad to see that this was discontinued because once you try this version of the Axis lock, man, it's almost impossible to go back, you know, to the standard Axis lock with the Omega springs because, well, the action is, man, it's just that good. Since this is all, so it's one-piece construction, what they did was they went ahead and they ran the spring for the Axis lock. They ran it down the spine of the handle. And man, it just has a totally different feel than any other Benchmade. Number 2 is going to be from Reeve Knives. This is the left-handed large Sabenza 21. This is definitely not a fidget knife, you know, it's meant to be like the only knife that you'll ever need. And well, that's great for many people, but not for those of us that have a YouTube channel, because what am I just going to keep showing the same knife over and over again? And no, I mean, every knife doesn't have to be like a fun to fidget, but come on, you got to admit, you know, that sure does make a knife enjoyable to carry. Now, the true value of the Sabenza is going to be like in its longevity because, you know, you're able to sharpen it so many times and you still have a good working edge because of how thin that hollow grind is. So when you start to remove material, it still remains thin. Now, I haven't used it yet, but I guess their warranty is one of the best in the business. So, you know, for example, let's say, you know, you disassemble it. You can't get it back together. Send it into them in a baggie and they'll do it for you. Or how about if let's say you snap the blade in half and, you know, as long as Reeve Knives, the company, is still in existence, you know, you can just go ahead and buy a new blade for it. All right, you ready to see it? Number 1, it's going to be a Hinderer. This is the 3.5-inch XM18 skinny sheep's foot. I never thought that I would fall down that rabbit hole, you know, the Hinderer hardware upgrades, but man, I don't know, I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I did, which is why I didn't really talk about the price, because stock, this is going to be about $430. But I went ahead and added, so this titanium handle scale, it's got the battle bronze anodization, $200. All of the screws, so this hardware kit, it's the bronze anodized at $112. Oh, and see that little brass filler tab up at the top that is covering where the pocket clip would normally be. That's $12. And I would love to know, what are some of the most expensive knives out of your collection? Go ahead and list them down in the comments. Now, if you're really liking these top 10 list videos, go ahead, check out the playlist that's up on the screen. All right, that's it. I got to run. Thank you so much for watching, and I love you guys, and I'll see you at the next video. Take care.